Hey guys, Lohengrin with Frizzly Gaming, back again with another Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous build. So this is the variant that, for my Gold Dragon tank build, that's really Munchkin-y, that I thought of but didn't play because I don't like going crazy Munchkin with builds. But this is how you completely maximize the defenses that you get out of a character. There's a couple things that you can do differently than what I'm going to do here. But this is my preference for how to do this. So we're going to go with a Scaled Fist Monk to start off with on the first level. Reason being that we want to be able to apply our Charisma bonus to our AC. We're going to take Half Elf, Kindred Raised, for the bonus to Charisma. We're going to take Pickpocket for the bonus to Initiative rolls. Because being the first to act in a round is really important as a tank. It means that you're not flat-footed. We're going to max out our Charisma. We're going to pick the extra ratio bonus to go to Charisma 2. So not only this is the highest Charisma we can start off with any character. We're going to dump Dex and Wisdom. And yes, this is going to sound strange, but we do want to dump Dex. Because their Dex is low, we're going to bump our Strength, because this is how we're going to attack with this character. You're going to want 14 Intelligence. You can also dump your Constitution to bump your Intelligence to 16. This means that you're not going to have a lot of HP, so when you do get hit, you are going to go down. However, this will help you have higher AC later on. So it depends on how you want to balance this. This is my preference to do it, because like I said, we're min-maxing this. But you can play around a little bit with these scores. You can lower Strength and you can lower Intelligence. It's not going to impact the build too much. But you don't want to mess with Charisma. This is the stat that you want to focus on. Personally, for skills, you need Persuasion for this build. You don't need anything else. You need Persuasion, and you need 5 levels of Knowledge Arcana, because we are going to go with Dragon Disciple. The rest, you can put into whatever you want. I'm going to go with Stealth, Trickery, and Athletics. We're going to be okay at Athletics, because we're going to have a decent Strength score. I prefer Trickery on my main character, so I can take literally whoever I want in any combination. But if you have a character that you know is going to have a good Trickery score, like a Rochelet or Woljif or Camellia, you can pick something else besides this. But this is just my preference for how to take these skills. We're going to start with Combat Expertise. And then for the bonus skill that we take from Monk, we're going to take Dodge. And the reason why is because we need Dodge for the Crane feats, but we cannot take Dodge normally. So we're gonna take it from Monk. Your deity doesn't matter. I prefer Aurori, just because conceptually this sounds really cool. However, whatever deity you pick, you are going to need Lawful Good for this build, because we are going to be taking some levels in Paladin.
Follow if you dare.
Gold Tank.
A test of my abilities.
So at the start of the game, you're going to be in a weird position where you're not very tanky. So you're going to want other characters to tank for you. Fortunately, you can use bows. But once you get your second level, you're going to become really tanky in comparison to everybody else. And you can swap these first 2 levels if you like. This is just how I prefer to start the character. If you're going full tank and you want to be up front, ironically, this Orca build might be, or starting the level with Oracle might be stronger. So again, we want to take Persuasion and Knowledge, and then the rest don't matter. You're going to want to take Wolf's Guard Face to get a bite attack. And this will come into play later. We're going to want to take Cure Spells, although it won't really matter because we're only taking 1 level in this. This is really important. So whatever Oracle class you take, you need to have access to Nature, because one of the key components of the build is Nature's Whispers, which allows us to use our Charisma modifier in place of our Dexterity modifier. And what this means is we now get double the effect out of our Dexterity to our AC, because we get the bonus from Scaled Fist, and we get the bonus to AC from this feature, the Revelation. Whatever spells you take, make sure they're buffs. We're not going to be a very good caster. So I'm going to take Remove Fear, and I'm going to take... what was the other one? Bless. Okay, from here, we're going to take 2 levels in Paladin. Doesn't really matter which ones you take. Bear in mind that one of the things you want is you're going to want the Aura of Courage, and you're going to want you want Divine Grace and Divine Health. So I'm actually going to go with the Warrior of Light. And the reason why we want 3 levels in Paladin is first level is going to give us Smite Evil, which is going to really help with our offense and our defense against specific targets. Keep in mind that this is very limited in use. You're only going to have so many of them, so you're going to want to save it for the really, really, really tough enemies. Even at max level, you're not going to have a whole lot of these, so you got to save it for the big guys. We're going to take Crane Style here. And the reason why is now when we fight defensively, which is going to add +4 more to our AC, we're only going to lose 2 to our attack rolls instead of the normal 4, and we get an additional dodge out of it. So we get +5 to our AC, while only suffering -2 to attack rolls instead of 4 and 4. I apologize, but this is where the game starts to really chug when you're making builds like this. For some reason, it does not like multi-classing builds. So we're going to put everything into Charisma. And the reason why is because the primary focus of this build is to tank, not do damage. So... Okay. I'm sorry, I forgot to go over why we took that second level. So I'll explain what we get out of that second level in Paladin. So what we got out of the second level is Lay on Hands, which is okay. But the main reason we want it is for Divine Grace. This now lets us add our Charisma modifier to our saves, and as I said, since this class is all about Charisma, your saves are actually going to be pretty high, even though your base stats aren't that great. So we take the 3rd level for Divine Health, so this makes us immune to all diseases, which is really strong, and we are also now going to boost all of our allies' saves against fear, and we are also immune to fear effects, which is kind of a big component of the what the enemy brings to the table. From there, we're gonna take. Where is it? Here you can kind of pick whatever you want. I'm gonna recommend Outflank because Outflank is just better. But you can also take Power Attack here. Power Attack's gonna set us up for later, so we're gonna take Outflank first though. I'm going to recommend the Fatigued Mercy, but it doesn't really matter because this is the only thing we're going to get out of it. And now we're going to switch things up. So you can do this with either You can do this with either Sorcerer or Blood Rager. Blood Rager works really well with this build because there's an amulet that you get that gives you what is it? Fast healing 5 while you're raging, and then this allows you to rage, and you can take the Limitless Rage Mythic skill. So this is one way to build it. If you're going to go that route, any of these work just fine. My preference for this though is Sorcerer, and again, any Sorcerer build or any Sorcerer class will work so long as you can take. You don't want Sage Sorcerer because Sage uses Intelligence instead of Charisma for your casting, but any of these will work just fine, so long as you can take a Dragon Bloodline. I prefer Crossblooded because Crossblooded lets us take 2, and what we suffer is fewer spells, but we're not taking Sorcerer for the spell levels anyways. So we're done with Knowledge Arcana here, by the way. We're going to take... I'm going to recommend the Undead Bloodline because one of us is a really strong Bloodline power. You get immunity to cold, paralysis, and sleep. You gain damage resistance 5, and you gain a +4 morale bonus and saving throws against spells made by Undead. But you can also take any of the dragon bloodlines here too. My recommendation, if you take that as your main bloodline, would be the red, because the red gives you immunity to fire, which is a huge... Everything uses fire in this game, basically. And then, since we're not going to be casting spells, these feats won't matter. So we're just going to take spell penetration. And then, whatever bloodline you pick, you have to pick a draconic bloodline, so make sure you pick one of those. I'm going to take red here. And then, I'm going to recommend Mage Armor for your spell. And the reason why is because one of the mythic feats, or one of the mythic abilities, is going to be a big component of our AC at towards the end of the game. Starts out not that great, but it ends up being really, really good. From there, we take Dragon Disciple. We're only going to take 4 levels in this. And now that we've done that, so next thing we want to do is we're going to want to take Intimidating Prowess. Or, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can take Intimidating Prowess here. Yeah, we're going to want to take Intimidating Prowess, and that'll come into play later. We're going to use our red Draconic Bloodline. Okay, so we're going to take another level in Dragon Disciple. We're going to bump our Charisma, because again, we get a lot of that. Okay. And now we pick a feat. So we're going to take Power Attack. And this is why I chose Intimidating Prowess for the feat before. Okay. I keep forgetting to go over what we get out of Dragon Disciple. So let me go over that as we take this level. So the reason we're taking Dragon Disciple 4 levels is we get an increase to our AC, and we get a bump to our strength, and then we get Breath Weapon. And this gives us additional bite attack and claw attacks. So if we're unarmed, we can get some mileage out of that. And this is kind of important for weapon focuses. So we will eventually be taking a weapon focus. And what you can do is you can weapon focus your bite, since you have a bite attack from not just your Oracle levels, but also the Dragon Disciple levels. Take the skills that we want. So here, we're going to take Corning and Smash, and this is why we've been building Persuasion. So whenever we damage an opponent with Power Attack, we make an Intimidation check as a free action and to demoralize them. This isn't going to matter too much. I'm going to recommend Shield, because as a strength character, we're probably going to be using two-handed weapons, and you can't use a shield as a monk, but you can still cast Shield on yourself to get the deflection bonus. And Shield is a self-only spell. Okay, so we're going to take our final level in Dragon Disciple. Okay, now we're done with Dragon Disciple. So what next? Well, if I can get it to load, we're going to take 2 levels in Alchemist. Any of them work, but my recommendation is going to be Vivisectionist, because while we don't get bombs, we do get sneak attack. And Vivisectionist is always a strong dip for any melee character. Okay, so going back to defense, we're going to take Crane Wing. And what this means is we get an additional +4 to our AC against melee attacks. However, if they miss by 4 or less, we lose that until the start of our next turn. But this is going to make us really, like, this is going to take our tanking to the next level. We're going to take Shield. We're going to take Enlarge Person. And then the rest don't matter. So we'll take Cure Wounds. We're going to take Expeditious Retreat, True Strike, and Stone Fist. Okay, and then we're going to take another level in Alchemist Vivisectionist, if it'll ever load. And the reason we want to do this is, while mutagen is good, we're not looking to get mutagen out of this. What we want is actually if I can remember what skills to take, we want Cognitogen. So the reason we want Cognitogen is because this is a charisma-focused build. We get a lot of mileage out of charisma. So the reason we take Cognitogen is because it's going to enhance our charisma and reduce our constitution. Now this isn't great, but we're almost never gonna be hit, and by this point we have crazy saves anyways. So this isn't too much of a loss. Plus, it also gives us the +2 AC, the +2 bonus to AC. That the mutagen gives us anyways. It just swaps, instead of physical stats, it's mental stats. From here, we can take Hell Knight, if it'll load. And we only want one thing from Hell Knight. We only want one level. The only thing we care about getting from Hell Knight, if it'll load. We're going to take Crane Riposte, and this is going to finish up the Crane feats. And the reason we take Crane Riposte is now we only have a -1 penalty to our attack rolls when we're fighting defensively, and if we lose that dodge bonus from Crane Wing, we get an attack of opportunity on our enemy. I want to say it's Order of the Nail. Yeah, so we're going to take Order of the Nail, and the reason why is because it gives us the favored enemy. Oh, I forgot to explain why we would have it. So we took it for Smite Chaos, so this gives us another Smite ability, and because most of what we're fighting is chaotic and evil, you can now use Smite Chaos, which also allows you to apply all those benefits from Smite Evil from Paladin. So I'll just show it real quick. So we get to add our charisma bonus to our attack rolls or damage rolls. It also counts as a bonus to our AC against them, and we get to pass. We get to bypass their damage resistance. So from there, where is the Magus? If I can get this to work. Yeah, it's having a hard time dealing with how many classes I've taken. So now we're going to take Sword Saint, Magus. And the reason we're going to do this is two things. One, it's going to allow us to a little bit of spellcasting. But the major reason we're taking this is why you're taking Sword Saint, which gives you a chosen weapon. And the chosen weapon is going to give us a few things. But the chosen weapon that we want to take is going to be Bite, because we get Bite from the Oracle levels and from the Dragon Disciple levels. So we are always going to have a Bite equipped regardless of what weapon we go with. So this is going to allow you some flexibility in what you equip on the character to, like, whatever weapon just does the best things that you want. We're going to take Shield. We're going to take Expeditious Retreat. We're going to want to take Enlarged Person. Magic Missiles, a good one too. And that's really it. We have to reduce person and shocking grasp. So there's only a couple spells we're actually going to be using out of here, namely shield and expeditious retreat. Probably lunge person, and magic missile can be useful too. The rest of them don't really matter all that much. So then the next level is where we're going to get another major boost to our character's AC. Oh man, it is so struggling with this right now. Oh, I think I forgot a level. Huh. My mistake. Oh well. We'll just take it now. So we actually want 2 levels of Monk, and the reason why is for evasion. And the reason why evasion is good is because when we make a reflex saving throw, we take no damage instead of half. Which is really important for our character. We want to be taking no damage as often as possible. So, sorry. And I'll correct where that goes in the spreadsheet that I'm going to link below. From there, we're going to want to take Dazzling Display. And this is going to kind of build into that Cornigan Smash stuff that we've been taking. Nope, why did the music cut out? Oh, the game is really struggling to keep up with this. This, you can take kind of whatever you want. You could have taken Crane Style from it. I'm going to take Blind Fight out of this. I'm going to recommend Blind Fight out of this, sorry. Because there's a lot of invisible enemies, and losing your dexterity bonus is going to cripple your ability to tank. And since you're not going to have a lot of HP with this character either, an invisible enemy can take out your character as the tank real fast. It is really struggling with this character from all these level dips. Okay. Now that I've corrected the build, my mistake. We're going to go back into Sword Saint. Okay, so part of why we're taking Sword Saint is for the candy defense. So this allows you to apply one point of intelligence, of your intelligence bonus per Magus class to your AC. Which means that now our AC is getting another bump. And every time we take a level in it, we're going to get a bump. So normally you'd get only you'd only take 3 levels of it to get the +3 out of it. However, you can easily bump your intelligence scores with spells and or equipment. So you can actually get a lot out of this. It would not be unfeasible to get an additional 2 points out of this. So 5 levels, if not more, out of the intelligence score. Plus we get some nice features from the class in general. This isn't going to matter. We're going to take Magic Weapon. Yeah. Oops, Sword Saint. Clicking on the wrong things here. It's gonna make the video like an hour long. Okay. So, you can take Dreadful Carnage. That's fine. But we actually want to take here Shatter Defenses. And the reason why is because any shaken, frightened, or panicked opponent you hit this round, we're attacking their flat-footed AC. And with Cornigan Smash, anytime we hit an opponent with power attack, we demoralize them, which causes them to be shaken. So with this combination, we are now attacking flat-footed AC after we hit an enemy. And since we have a pretty decent bonus to hit from our what's going to be very high strength, this is going to be happening quite a lot. So we're gonna be attacking flat-footed AC a lot. You can do whatever you want for this. I'm going to recommend Arcane Accuracy, but whatever you want works just fine here. I don't recommend Wild Mastery, by the way. Oh, no, I read that wrong. I'm sorry. I was thinking this was our spells, not the wands. So again, we don't really care what spells we take. If this will ever load. Okay, there we go. We're going to take Mirror Image. We're going to take Blur. And this is going to make us really, really tanky. And since we only have 2 levels left, these are all going to go into Sword Saint. Also, I think I missed what we got last level. Did we get what I think we got? Which is actually really good for this. Come on. You can do it. Alright. I did. Oh, no, I didn't. Is it this level? When do we get it? No. Spell Strike? Arcane Accuracy. I could have sworn we got something. Oh well. I thought we got something that apparently we did not. Okay, so from here, you can take basically anything you want. Dreadful Carnage is not a bad choice. Whenever we kill an enemy, we get to demoralize everything within 30 feet. This is actually pretty good because we're going to be in the thick of it. But it's not a key component to the build. It just gives you some extra mileage out of it. And then what else can we take? This you can kind of put whatever you want in here. I'm going to recommend Improve Critical. For Bite. Because at this point, we'll actually be able to turn into a dragon. So we'll be attacking with all the dragon attacks. Here, we want to take... Oh, I guess we can't take it. I'm going to recommend Frigid Touch, since you used attack with touch range. And then whatever else you want. Both Strength isn't a bad choice. Ideally, we'd be able to take Fox's Cunning for additional intelligence. If I can ever get this to load. Okay, and we're going to take our last level in Sword Saint, because it is possible to get your bonus from intelligence up to 6. So this would give us an additional 6 AC just from a stat that we actually don't use. And then, since this last point won't matter, we'll just go ahead and throw it in Charisma. Because that's what we've done the entire time. There we go. Here it is. This is why we took the 6 levels. So now we get pressuring attack. So we can spend one. If we're having a hard time getting that first hit on an enemy, we can now use 1 point from our arcane pool to deny them the dexterity bonus to their AC until the end of the attacks on our turn. And then from here, invisibility isn't a bad spell to take. Nor is Burning Hands wouldn't. Yeah, Corrosive Touch. Corrosive Touch isn't bad, and the reason why is because we're fighting, because we're a Magus, we can cast spells in the same rounds that we're attacking and get them all off. So touch spells are going to work really well for us because it's touch AC and not spell resistance. Nor are there saves, which our saves are our DCs are gonna be terrible. So we're gonna take. I'm gonna recommend Close to the Heavens. Bit of Fun can work. I don't prefer it though because all it does is give you mirror image with 3 images, and it's only 3 times a day, so it's 9 attacks that are missed. Whereas Close to the Heavens, you can use to do damage or heal your party. And when you use this to attack, it's a touch attack, which is, again, the best AC to try and target because it's always so low on most enemies. Any of them really can work. Another interesting thing that you can try and do is Dance Macabre. You can take, and this will allow you to channel negative energy, which you can use to damage enemies. However, if you do this, make sure that you're the only frontline character. Matter of fact, I'm actually going to take this, and then I'm going to show you how this can work, because the other ones are going to be kind of apparent. So what we're going to do for our first mythic ability is we're going to take Archmage Armor, and the reason why is this is going to allow us to get the benefits of Mage Armor for the entirety of the game, which frees up our Bracer slot for something else. And this only gets better as we continue to gain additional mythic levels. So what this does is this adds your mythic level bonus to, mythic rank to the bonus that Mage Armor gives your character. And since we're not going to be wearing armor because then we lose all those other benefits, this is the armor that we're going to be wearing for the entire game. So it's just going to get progressively better. The other thing you can take right off the bat is you can take the Bloodline Ascendants and take one of us. So as I said, this makes you immune to cold, paralysis, and sleep. Because you took the red dragon bloodline, you can also do this. You can take the red dragon one, and it makes you immune to the same things, and now you're immune to fire damage, which is basically the damage that most enemies are going to use. But just to continue with it, so I'm going to take one of us one. You can take dodge, mythic dodge here, but it's only 1 AC. What I'm going to recommend is mythic power attack, and the reason why is this is going to give us +5 because you're likely going to be using 2-handed weapons. So that would be my recommendation here. So that no, not yet. Wrong level. I'm forgetting something here. That's right. Sorry. This early on, what you're going to want to take is you're going to want to take Abundant Smite. And this means that you're going to get more smites from your per day than you did before. And this is really big because, as I said, Smite is a really, really powerful feature that's going to give us bonuses to our AC, our attack rolls, and our damage rolls against those really, really tough enemies. So taking this pretty early on, you're going to get a lot of mileage out of it. And as we continue on... So one thing you can do is you can take Thundering Blows, so that when you miss, you do damage. But this is going to kind of fall off as you get farther and farther into the game, and you're going to be doing more and more damage. Or sorry, you're going to be missing less and less. You can also take Mythic Charge. I don't find this as helpful as on some builds. But one of the things we can do is we can take Leading Strike, so that when we do hit an enemy, we're going to mark a target. Are they going to take a bunch of divine damage when one of our allies hits them? But you can take a lot of things here. It doesn't have to be that. So like Brutality Incarnate is actually not a bad one either. All of your natural attacks now bypass damage resistance. So we'll go ahead and go with that, just as an example on the build. But you have a little bit of freedom in there. It doesn't. The only things that are required out of the mythic abilities are the smites and the... Did I not take Archmage Armor? I must not have. The smites and the Archmage Armor are key components of the build. We can take additional... so we can take the Abundant Smite Chaos, so we get even more smites per day. You can take Last Stand, but bear in mind that this only works when you get to 0 HP and it's only for 2 rounds. And this isn't going to be happening very often. So... Actually, I'm going to take... Oh, no, this would just gives me to fire. No, yep, we're going to take Abundant Smite. So now we've got a bunch of smites every day. And I'm not recommending the attack stuff for the most part because we're not worried about attacking. This is at around the point I would recommend the Power Attack Mythic, so you get more damage out of your attacks because now you're actually going to be hitting. And then the last one we're going to take is we want to take Master Shapeshifter for the 7th level mythic ability. And the reason why is because this is the last mythic ability we're going to be able to pick what we take. And from here on out is where we start taking the dragon stuff. So first thing we get when we become a dragon at rank 8 is we get the Gold Dragon Breath. And this just gets better. We don't get this until later, and then this we do get right off the bat, and then it gets better as we go. So I'll show you what that does. So all we get right now is the Gold Dragon Breath, and the really great thing about the Dragon Breath is it's on a cooldown rather than uses per day, so you can get this as long as you're fighting. And since we're a tank, and enemy's gonna have a hard time hitting us anyways, this is gonna be really useful. And then, as a Gold Dragon, we get immunity to poison, disease, fear, confusion, paralysis, and sleep. We also gain energy resistances equal to our character level plus half our mythic rank, which at this point is, it's around 20-ish when you first get to rank 8. Any of our saving throw bonuses before this are less than 5 plus our mythic rank, which they're not. We gain a bonus to that number. If any of our attributes before the modifiers are less than 14, those get bumped up, which our con and our wisdom got bumped. Oh no, and our dexterity. Why is this so much higher? Oh, okay. Okay, so I didn't realize that before. This makes your base 14, not your total 14. So if you take a different race, you get those racial bonuses still. Okay, so now at rank 9, we can actually turn into a Gold Dragon, and we get 3 free feats, which means we get to ignore the prerequisites for them, and then our immunity bonuses go higher. So our spell resistance equals 15 plus our character rank, or character level plus half our mythic rank. Our base attack bonus, if it was less than 15, is now 15 plus our mythic rank. All of our skills are now class skills, which we don't really care about. Any attributes that were less than 18 are now 18, which I'll show you at the other screen. And our spells are going to do additional damage, which we don't really care about because that's not a key component of this build. But since we get 3 free feats, what we can do is... Where is it? Let's just do this. Oh, there it is. Cautious Fighter just gives us an additional 2 AC. I feel like I'm forgetting something here. We did Greater Blind Fight. So total concealment, we only miss 20% instead of 50. And we don't lose our dexterity bonus to armor class against invisible enemies, regardless of how far away they are. And we get to skip taking Blind Fight and improved Blind Fight. Oh, that is my alarm. There's a lot we can go with here. Oh, okay. There we go. We're just going to take this. So we're going to take Wings, which is going to give us an additional +3 to our AC against melee attacks. And there you go. Those are our 3 bonus feats, which are all tanking feats. And then you do get one more rank, one more mythic rank, which isn't going to make a huge difference here. And then now... at this point, so gone through everything I can, bearing in mind that since this playthrough I went with a different build, I didn't hold on to all the gear that would fit this particular build the best, but cobbling together what I currently have, this is what I would recommend as far as general stuff. Some of the stuff you might find something better, like I'm not sure if there are better two-handed weapons and so on. But primarily what works best in these slots is going to be the Warden's Circlet. So this is going to give you +4 to all your mental stats, which means we're going to get +2 AC bonus from our Charisma and +2 AC bonus from our Intelligence just from this item alone. Valexia's Magnifying Amulet is also going to give us an additional +2 to our Charisma, which means 1 more AC, +5 natural AC. These are to help with your Persuasion and your attack rolls. Robe of Virtue gives you +2 to your AC and +2 in attack rolls against evil enemies, and you can only wear this if you're a good monk. The rings can give us 1 additional protection versus the Holy Aura, but that's still +1 more than we would normally get. So you could swap this out for something else if you found something particularly useful. There is also a different cape that you can use that you get from the Lich. I won't say where, but there's a cape that basically every enemy has to save against it's a DC 33 will save, otherwise they're frightened. Now I don't use it because I don't like chasing after enemies, but it's actually a really good cloak. This one I use because Breath Weapon comes up a lot. Bear in mind though that this additional 20 divine damage seems to hit your character too. I don't know why. It does hit all the other enemies, but this does mean that every time you use the breath weapon, you're going to take 20 damage. And then because we have those levels of Vivisectionist, we get all the benefits of sneak attack. So this is a good weapon. This is going to give us an additional 1d6 every time we hit with the sneak attack. This is also going to give us an additional 1d6 every time we hit with the sneak attack, which we will be hitting when enemies are shaken and frightened and all that. I didn't have any better boots. These won't really matter. I'm sure there are good boots that'll fit in here, but nothing that I found really worked. And then this is the ring from one of the relics that you upgrade. This is really good for party damage on whatever target you're attacking. Also, one thing to keep in mind is my Profane Ascension is not going to be targeting the right stats here. Normally you would be getting +6 to Charisma, which is correct, but then you'd getting the +4. Oh, it did show up correctly. That's very strange. I don't know why that is. Okay, but anyways, so as you can see, we're getting a bunch of AC from everything. So let's take a look at this real quick. Also, I did forget to squeeze in one level of I'm forgetting the class now. The Witch. Stigmatized Witch. So if you squeeze in one level of Stigmatized Witch, you can take Ice Plant, Lizard, the Lizard Companion, and the ring that gives you +2 AC from having Ice Plant. So it would give you an additional 5 AC that my character does not have here. But let's take a look at what I did get. So I have 16 AC from my Charisma bonus. I have another 16 from my Dexterity bonus. We have 5 from the Ring of Protection. We have 13 from Mage Armor, which will be 14 when you get that final rank of Mythic, but that only applies to like the very end. We're going to get +4 from Shield. We get +1 from Dragon Resistances. We get another +2 from the Dragon Disciple levels. We get +2 more from the Cognotogen just base AC bonus. We get +5 from Exilius, we get +1 from Dodge, and we get +6 from Cannon Defense. This does not include our Fighting Defensively or our Combat Expertise, which are all here. So I'm going to demonstrate how this works. Actually, let's see what this does. Oh, but range weapons. Oh, I also didn't go over this. This also makes it a pretty good tank item. Gives you damage resistance and fast healing too. And the negative AC bonus only applies in a very specific aspect of the game. So this works too if you find that you're not having problems hitting, and then the fast healing too is actually pretty good. But anyways, okay, so we are in dragon form. We're going to blast everyone. And I'm not going to do this in turn-based. That's normally how I play the game, but I'm just going to show you how crazy. I'm just going to show you the damage or how well this all works. Okay, maybe I do need to go in turn-based because it's not showing my bars. So we're taking a little bit of damage in here. Mostly from this guy, who's one of the hardest enemies in the game, so that's okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and blast our... No, we're going to save the breath weapon. We're going to take these guys out. Oh, we got a crit to hit them. That's... Okay, so when it comes back to our turn, we're going to turn off our combat expertise. So let's take a look at the numbers that they're missing us with. Oh, and we already have healing because of I'm forgetting what it's called. The Sword of Valor. But anyways, so let's see what they're missing us with. So here we go. So with all of the actual numbers applied, So we've got +8 from the dragon form. We've got +6 from canny defense. We've got 5 from fighting defensively, which we're going to take off right now. We've got 4 from Kring Wing. We've got 3 from excuse me, the wings. 2 from dodge, plus 1 more from dodge. Getting 7 from combat expertise. So we're going to turn this off because this is part of why we're missing. And then all these stuff we went over before. So really quickly, we're going to turn off fighting defensively and combat expertise. And now, let's see how well we can hit our targets. Okay, he is totally bugged because he attacked the archer, the succubus, and didn't attack us. So I don't know what's going on with him. Okay, and now that we've hit him, we're attacking his flat-footed AC, which means we're not likely to miss. So see, they can only hit us when they crit. Let's go back up to where we took damage. So he hit us, but he had to crit to hit us.
Don't hold back.
So we're gonna take this guy out real fast. Okay, now we're gonna go take him out. So he's gonna be a little bit harder to hit, right? Oh, getting some damage in on us. So now we're gonna smite him and go in on him. So we had to roll an 18 or higher to hit him previously. Let's take a look at what we have to roll now. Now he's got now we get +16 to our attack rolls from Smite Chaos, which also means we're getting +16 to our damage rolls from Smite Chaos, and we get 10 of them at this rank. On top of that, when we're fighting a lot of enemies, we can just do this, and let's see how much damage we get out of that. So it's 11d6 plus 2, which means I rolled absolutely terrible there. Okay, so we're going to go again. Bearing in mind, this is an enemy that I had a hard time hitting with my normal build. So now we're just absolutely wrecking this guy. So let's go ahead and turn that off. And I'll just watch him take out, kill him live. See, he's struggling to hit us with his spells. We're saving, he's not, and even the ones when he does hit, we have a lot of resistance to energy damages. And we're healing up the entire time. So in the few instances that we do get hit, we're just going to get that HP back after a while.
This wound, my gift to you.
There you go. I also took the liberty of redoing this to fit in that witch level that I messed up on. So I'm missing the Hell Knight level in place of the witch level. But just to show you what this looks like. Truly Munchkin.
Don't hold back. Strike. I am your end. This wound, my gift to you.
We're just going to keep going until we fight. Yeah. This is the fight that I wanted. These guys are a little tougher.
You should have run. This will hurt.
So yeah, this is my Super Munchkin Gold Dragon tank build. As I said, I did miss one level of Munchkin in that would give us an additional 5 AC. And as you can tell, or as you can see, you don't need the combat expertise at the end So if you want to swap that out for something else as you level, that's fine. Just bear in mind that you're missing a big chunk of your AC early on. And the order in which you gain those levels aren't paramount. As I said, or as I pointed out, I messed up with the monk level, where I should have taken that second monk level earlier. But yeah, as you can see, it's a pretty strong build. So, as always, thanks for watching. Like if you enjoyed the video. Comment if you have anything that you want to bring up about the build, or maybe another build that you want to see me take a stab at. And subscribe if you want to see more of this content. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.